Good morning, traders. I'm Emily Advani, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Tuesday, February 4th. Is less bad okay? Yesterday, markets recovered, albeit slightly, from steep morning lows as tariff talks stalled, sort of. The Dow ended regular trading down 122 points, or about 0.25%. The S&P 500 gave up 45 points, or about 0.75%. The Nasdaq lost 235 points, or 1.2%. Bill, it seems like tariff talks are back on this morning, so let's get into today with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Yeah, I mean the S&Ps were lower all morning long. I mean they were lower by more than 1/10%, and now they just turned. They're green now. We're showing higher. We're up 0.08%, like almost 1/10% higher. So that's kind of positive. I mean the key narrative remains the trade tensions, the trade talk. Obviously Trump walked back his tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and he really didn't get anything. I mean, he says it's a 30-day pause, but we'll see. I mean, Mexico's going to put troops on the border. Well, they did that for Biden, so they're just reinserting them. So they're not really there. And I think, this is, a lot of headline. We still have headline risk here, but it's a little bit more like it was negotiated employee than anything else. I mean, China responded to Trump's tariffs this morning with a series of retaliation measures. China's regulatory body said it's going to begin an antitrust investigation into Google over alleged anti-competitive market behavior. There's rumors that there's going to be talks between China President Xi and Trump in the coming days, probably likely, I think, over the weekend. After the bell today, we got earnings from AMD, AMGN, Google, and Snap. Got a couple economic reports today. We got the JOLTS report coming out. We got factory orders. But really, the trade tension, headlines are really going to continue to be flowing, and that's going to be a key narrative for the day ahead. But we're taking a look at the global markets and seeing what's happened in Europe. I mean, European markets were lower, and now they're mixed to higher. I mean, you get the DAX up 21 points, or 1/10%. I mean, there is still cautious trading around auto stocks. I will say the FTSE down 13 points, or 0.16%. Remember, they got a Bank of England meeting on Thursday where a rate cut is expected. In France, France is trading higher by 20 points, or 0.26%. Luxury stocks are trading mixed to lower, I will say. And then we're talking last night in Asia. Asia basically saw green. You look at the Nikkei, it rose 278 points, or 0.72%. Tech stocks really did lead the charge higher. And then Hong Kong, jumped 572 points, or 2.83%. With big gains in tech stocks. China's Shanghai market remains closed for those Lunar New Year celebrations. The Chinese finance minister of finance announced that it will impose tariffs of 15% on U.S. coal, liquefied natural gas imports, and 10% on crude oil, agricultural equipment, and certain vehicles. So yeah, that's not really positive. But China's and Trump, they're going to talk soon, and watch that this could be retracted as well. Then we're talking oil, and oil is selling off this morning. We got WTI trading $71.16 a barrel. That's down 2.73%. Brent crude, on the other hand, is trading at $74.60 a barrel. That's down. So, we're seeing oil fall as a result. And that's what I have for you in terms of morning market update report, Emily.
Bill, as these tariff talks and possible, trade tensions continue to sort of galvanize the main headlines. As we heard from your opening, there are a number of other things that are worth watching today. Sort of the details underneath those main headlines are important to keep track of, because there are other things that keep moving forward as those trade talks continue to swirl around. One of those that you mentioned is earnings action. There's a number of interesting earnings that came out, number of important ones to look ahead to. So let's get there. Bill, what is going on in terms of earnings action?
Sure. We got a lot of earnings actions to talk about today. Um, Take a quick peek here. Let's start off with Palantir. That's uh, ticker PLTR. They came up with a strong report. They beat by 3 cents. They did it on higher revenue. You look at Palantir, it's up 23.37%. This is big for the AI trade. This is big for the AI trade. That's all I'm going to say there. You can keep an eye on this one. Pfizer, ticker PFE, Paul Frank Edward, they beat by 17 cents and they did it on higher revenue. That stock's up 1.83% this morning. Merck, on the other hand, ticker MRK, they missed by 5 cents on higher revenue. But you look at Merck today, shares are down 8.30%. Ooh, that's ugly. Um, Pepsi-Cola, ticker PEP, they beat by 2 cents, but it was done on lower revenue. Stock's down a little over 2% this morning. Upcoming after the bell today, you got Amgen, ticker AMGN. EPS is $5.01. Expected move is 4.39%. Then you have AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, Apple Michael David. Their EPS is $1.07. The expected move is 9.10%. Alphabet or Google, ticker GOG, their EPS is $2.12 with the expected move of 6.32% when they release this afternoon, Emily.
And Bill, along with all of that earnings action that you're keeping track of through your earnings alert in your newsware, you're also keeping track of economic reports. You did give us a preview that are a couple of reports worth watching today, worth noting, and some Fed speak. And as we're managing these economic issues, on the larger global landscape, keeping track of these economic reports and the Fed speak continues to be important. So, Bill, what is going on in terms of the economic events today?
A couple of reports coming out after the opening bell at 10 a.m. We got factory orders also at 10 a.m. We got the JOLTS report. Got a lot of interesting Fed speak. 11 a.m. Atlanta Fed Bank President Raphael Bostic will be speaking. Then at 2 p.m., we're going to hear from San Francisco Fed Bank President Mary Daly. Now, she's going to be participating in a panel discussion titled The Economy 2025, The Impacts of Tariffs, Tax Cuts, and Trump. So it's kind of interesting. Her comments going to be closely watched for indications of what could be influencing monetary policy this year. So it's interesting to me that it's not as interesting as it was before Trump walked back those tariff policies, but I'll still be paying attention to it. Then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, you're going to be hearing from Fed Vice Chair Philip Jefferson as he will be giving a speech. But that's what I have for you in terms of economic events happening today, Emily.
And along with economic events and that earnings action, you're still keeping track of other market moving information. Bill, this morning, as you do every morning, along with those main headlines, you're sifting through other types of data and information coming out of different sectors and segments. You're using alerts like guidance alerts, shareholders meetings, buybacks, other catalysts. You're also grouping your stocks together like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks. So, Bill, what else do you see is possibly moving the markets today?
Just doing a quick data check. I'm looking at my Dow stocks. I got 20 lower and 10 higher. Good. My FANG stocks are all higher with the exception of Apple, which is down 0.4%. Okay. We're looking at some of the news behind it. Amazon, listen, Trump's new tariffs, they're expected to create problems for those Chinese retailers, Termu and Shine, because they sent packages underneath a minimum amount that is tagged on tariffs under his first tariff policy that he put in. So they've been getting around the Trump tariffs. So now he basically made sure that they would be included. So that's kind of positive for Amazon. You look at Amazon; it's up 0.6% this morning. Google, hey, the news is all over the tape. China opens up enters up anti-monopoly investigation into Google. Um, they're suspected of violating the anti-monopoly law. Okay. We'll just have to see. Let's take a turn over to Dow Jones 30 stocks for a second. And we got Salesforce. I mean, Salesforce is out there saying that they're going to be cutting like 1,000 employees, but realistically, they're just going to be moving them around. It looks like. What else? Amazon Rackspace Technologies is working with MTU to unveil Q Cloud. That's all I'm seeing really for Dow stocks this morning. The other stories out there, I'll get to in a second. Disney's earnings are tomorrow morning. The expected move is about $8. It's got a 0.47 put to call ratio, which is positive. In terms of merger news, MCK, McKesson is going to be requiring a controlling stake in Prism Vision for about 850 million. In terms of guidance news, Palantir, PLTR, they see Q1 revenue coming in 858 million to 862 million. Street estimate was 799. That's a big uptick. NXPI, Nancy X-ray, Paul India, NXP, Semiconductor CQ1 EPS coming in $2.39 to $2.79. Street estimate is $2.64. Okay. Merck, ticker MRK, they see full year 2025 adjusted EPS coming in $8.88 to $9.03. Street estimates $9.21. That's a downtick. Estee Lauder sees Q3 consistent currency 24 cent EPS. With consistent currency coming in 24 cents to 34 cents. Street estimates at 63 cents. That's a big downtick for Estee Lauder. In terms of shareholders meetings, IBM having its investors day today. That's one to watch. I mean, IBM was up big yesterday, and this morning it's up, up another 0.9%. Nice way to start the day. We mentioned that yesterday. We said, hey, investors day, IBM yesterday. Keep an eye on it. Sure enough, it's trading higher this morning. In terms of buyback news, ticker FN, Frank Nancy, they announced a 100 million expansion to its share repurchasing program. And Jacobs board, ticker J as in John, Jacobs board approved a 1.5 billion share repurchasing authorization. Nice. In terms of catalyst calls, VRSN, VeriSign, Victor, Richard, Sam, Nancy. Citibank raises its price target on VeriSign and opened up a 90-day positive catalyst watch on the stock. And that's what I have for you about news hitting the tape this morning, Emily.
This is the type of data that NewsWare delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. We've now made it to that time of the show for the Trade Talk pick of the day. Well, even with negative sentiment in the air, you continue to look for opportunities. So what is your pick of the day today?
Going with Snap, ticker SNAP, Sam, Nancy, Apple, Paul. Earnings are out after the bell. EPS is 14 cents. Expected move is 18.71%. You look at yesterday's call volume, 58,412 to 40,915. Nice, positive. Open interest, 685K to 360K. Ooh, that's nice. That's good too. Major brokers do seem to be raising price targets, so I do kind of like to see that. Not widely followed, but listen, I want to get in under 1120. My price target in my head is 1115 ish, around that area. But that's my pick of the day. Snap. I'll say 1115. But that's what I'm going with today, Emily.
Snap it is today. We will follow that along with you. And coming up, we will do a recap on yesterday's pick of the day. So stick with us. But first, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
Okay, what do we see here? PayPal seeing solid performance across its credit portfolio. Visa expands collaboration with Fold to introduce Bitcoin awards card programs. Oh, that's interesting. UAL, Uncle Apple Larry, United Airlines to restart service to Tel Aviv, Israel. Remember, Trump is meeting with Netanyahu today in the White House. So that headline doesn't surprise me. They're going to be giving him more weapons, apparently. Estee Lauder announces a new structure. They named a new chief brand officer. Apollo Global Management APO, their 4Q profit exceeded expectations. That's all I'm seeing this morning, Emily.
Okay, Bill, before we sign off and get to trading on this Tuesday, let's do that check-in on yesterday's pick of the day, which was Verizon. Now, there, a lot of negativity out there, and I saw this headline with Verizon and thought it was a nice little positive note. The Verizon Foundation provided $500,000 to support wildfire recovery efforts in Southern California. Now, this is in addition to $1 million that they had announced earlier this month. Again, just a little piece of positive note amongst some negative news swirling around out there. But Verizon was your pick of the day yesterday. It was a messy day on Wall Street. Bill, were you able to get a gain? How did your call work out?
Yeah, yesterday was a real ugly day. I mean, the stocks opened up down hard and continued to fall. But you look at Verizon. Verizon's kind of that safety pick, and that was a safety play. That's what I was going for. I mean, the stock opened up at $39.31. It fell down to 39.14, and then it ran and hit a high of $40.12, and it's closed at $39.98, almost $40. So, yeah, it easily beat the 1%. It didn't come close to my entry point, but I mean, doing this an hour, well, more than an hour before the market opens up, and I'm going cautiously, and I that was my entry price was still low, but if you look at the opening price, I mean, the stock rocketed off of that. I mean, that was like that was over a 2% move. So Verizon, ticker VZ, Victor Zebra, was a winner yesterday, Emily.
A good call there, Bill. Again, a safety play, and it worked out. And we will check in with you tomorrow about today's snap pick of the day. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow and each weekday morning at NewsWare's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Advani, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.